Hey guys, so I'm out here and I should be able to finish up the Chief's end mill holder, but boy, the humidity is just insane today. That's not water leakage in here, that's just condensation that's on everything. It's turned any of the oil or anything like around here just milky, because it's just the humidity is just insane today. It's pouring rain out there right now, you know. I suppose I could turn on the big heater to try and drive some of this moisture off, but bearing in mind that it also will add humidity to the air because one of the byproducts of combustion is going to be water as well as carbon dioxide. Anyways, so I'm going to flip this thing around, chuck it on this section here, not on the machine sections here where the bearings go, but on this section here, which seems to be turned fairly regularly. I did confirm that by measuring it with a dial caliper, and so I'll chuck it in there. I'll try and chuck it as close as I can to that, so I have as little hanging out as possible. What I'll do is I'll do the boring operation first, bore it out to a ½ inch, and then what I can do is I can put my live center in the tailstock, and then I can support it while I just mill, take a couple of passes on the outside, and then bevel that edge that's going to be in there. Actually, I'm not watching the display, so I don't know if I actually was aiming at anything. Anyways, you get the picture, I hope. Sorry for the noise, guys. I'm running the heater just to drive off the moisture. Except that thing is driving me nuts because whoever made it never learned furnace thermostat principles, because it stops at exactly 60, and once it drops 1 degree below, it turns back on again. This is driving me mental. Anyways, like, how much worse can I get, I guess? So I got this thing chucked in here. I was measuring the run out on it before I did anything, and I got getting about 3 thou run out on the outside and about 5 thou run out on the inner bore there, which I haven't actually bored yet, so it's not too bad considering that was drilled all the way through. So what I'm going to do now is I'll bore out the center of this. Excuse me. And then we'll put the live center into here and turn the outside. Sorry. And then we'll do this, and then we gotta drill our set screw holes, and I gotta mill 2 flats on the side of this so that the Chief can get a wrench on the outside of it to take it off. Well, I don't know what's going on here. I was hearing a lot of noise from this end of the lathe here. First I thought it was the bearings for the headstock, but I don't think so. Then I thought it was this, but I've taken all the belts off and it sounds quiet. Pulling on, pushing on it. It runs fine. Turn on the motor. Now I won't say it sounds perfect, that when it's spinning down that there's some noise there. There's no way to lubricate this motor from what I've seen. But I'm not hearing any noise when I turn it. And I look at this thing, at the headstock. And it sounds fine. But I'll put this all back together and I'm hearing noise. Well, curious. I need a new belt, drive belt, but I don't think that's what the noise was, because well, honestly, it's been like that for a while. Okay, I think I know what it is. I think it's this idler. It's not making any noise when I turn it, but I think what it is, the belt isn't tight enough, and consequently, it's kind of just rattling a bit. It's got sealed bearings, so there's not much I can do with it. But you might be able to hear the noise. See, it kind of sounds like a metallic kind of rattling, and that may be that crack in the belt just rattling over that idler. Anyways, I'll run it, I don't think it's a dry bearing somewhere, so I don't think I'm going to damage anything other than break a belt, which I'll go and pick one up tomorrow. Okay, I've bored it out, and I've got it probably just to the exact size of this end mill that I'm trying to use, and it's just a little bit difficult to get in there. As a matter of fact, I can't get it in all the way. So I think I'm going to call that pretty close, and I'm going to take off. I'm going to try and take off as little as possible. It's probably going to end up being another 1/1000th of an inch, but it should be good at that point. You can't see inside. I think it got a pretty good finish because I was taking so many small cuts, so that should be a lot better than anything. So we'll bump this up, take off, 1/2 thou, and try it again. Well, I think I got it pretty damn close now, and I think you guys will find this amusing. The end mill goes all the way in, but poink, 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 poink. It's actually that tight enough of a fit that the air has trouble getting out past it. So I think I got it pretty close to what it's supposed to be. So I might leave it at that. And this is what I'll tell you, Chief. If your end mills won't go in here, if they've got a burr on them, well, you'll have to deburr. Like, look at that, it's sucking back in. You can deburr, like I would say around where the flat is. You might need to do some deburring, or if there is any marring on it, if somebody's chucked them in a chuck, it may have marred them. And at that point, just clean them up with some emery paper, and if it still won't go in, then what I'll suggest is what one other tuber said, to polish the inside of the bore here, and with a piece of sandpaper, emery paper wrapped around a dowel in there. I'm hearing some water dripping. My roof is leaking. Anyways. So there you go. That's the chuck, and I just rubbed some of the ink I put on there off, but that's the I should say the end mill holder. Draw filed and sanded, so it's looking all pretty. I could probably sand it some more, but I'm not that worried about it. I don't think the Chief will mind. So I've marked out where the distance away from the end that I want the set screws, and I just have to mark the radial locations for the 3 set screw holes, and apart from that, I just have to mill off about a 1/4 inch flat, 1/4 inch deep flat on each side of this, and then this thing is done. I don't think it's going to get in the mail tomorrow, Chief, but I should get it in on Monday. I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's done here. Well, there you go, Chief. That's the end mill holder done, or very nearly done. I milled some flats on the side here. You should be able to put a crescent wrench on there, hold the pulley at the top of the unit, and break this loose. 3 set screws, and I did bore this out so that it's just a little bit larger, so that it's not so difficult to pull this out. That was also coincidentally my way of deburring the tapped holes for the set screws. So this thing's ready to go, just one more finishing touch. Okay, so I did just a quick check of the run out on the bore of this thing here, and it's under 2 thou of run out, which I think is pretty damn good. So I think we're good to go on that, and I do have one more finishing touch to put on it. There you go, Chief. The last finishing touch. TWI, the wrecking yard. There we go. Now, I suppose I should mention a couple of things. When you're going to get this thing ready to go, try not to nick this surface here. That raised surface is a bearing surface. That surface there is a bearing surface. And if you nick this squared off spline spot, just file it down or just clean it up, because that'll affect how easily the quill goes up and down if you mar that up. I'm assuming that this small recess right here that you probably can't see because the camera won't focus is a snap ring. So save that from the old one, and I think that there's another one. If I turn this around and look at it a little bit closer, if you look here, if this thing would focus, there looks like there's a small shallow one here as well that I suspect is a snap ring. So just retain those if they exist, and everything should go together right. You know, assuming that this is the right shaft for your drill press. It was the right one from the catalog. Anyways, that's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll get this off to you on the weekend or Monday, Chief.